The most heavily guarded people in the world. If you're new to the channel and you want to see the luxurious life that the 1% live in, subscribe and click the bell. That way you never miss a video. Most of us, we never have to worry about our personal safety, but for a small number of people in the world, they need security just to go and get a cup of coffee. People all around the world spend millions of dollars on keeping themselves safe, but for a few people, they need their own personal armies to stay safe. This video includes some of the most famous people in the world, and the most guarded person in the world will definitely shock you, so make sure you stay till the end of the video to find out. Now though, let's start with number 10. Number 10. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Prince Harry and Meghan's security arrangements for their house at Frogmore Cottage apparently cost $1.1 million. Situated near Windsor Castle, the house is more like Fort Knox than a small country cottage. There are high-tech cameras and sensors all around the house to help keep trespassers away. Signs around the house's grounds read "Police Flight Safety Notice, drones banned in this area." This is to try and stop newspapers and magazines getting some sneaky shots of the couple relaxing in their garden. Most shocking of all though is the size of their security force. They have 1,000 of the most qualified soldiers in the British Army assigned to their protection. Number 9. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce might not be royalty in the traditional sense, but there is no denying that they are musical royalty. Being as famous as these two means that wherever you go, fans are going to try and get near you. After an incident in Brazil in 2013, where a fan managed to get on stage and yank Beyonce down to the floor, they spent millions of dollars improving their personal security. Jay-Z recruited 5 new personal security guards, who are all former intelligence officers, to accompany the 5 guards who already traveled with Beyonce everywhere she went. On top of that, the couple own 2 bomb-proof Latvia SUVs, the same protective military-grade vehicles identical to those used by former President Barack Obama. Their LA mansion features a personal security complex that reportedly cost $88 million to build and includes living quarters for the guards to ensure round-the-clock protection. Even their children have their own multi-million-dollar security details. Number 8. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a name known around the world. As the 4th richest man in the world, he founded one of the most successful companies in the world in 1975. By the 90s, Bill Gates was one of the most famous people in the world. But that didn't stop him being attacked with a birthday cake to the face by some pranksters. Though it was a harmless prank, the attack really shook him. Upon arriving home, he had his office upgraded with bulletproof walls and windows. When the dot-com bubble burst, Microsoft had to lay off a large number of their employees. Gates received death threats from a number of his former employees at the time. As a result, the company increased the security for Bill Gates. He is always guarded by a team of highly trained bodyguards, and people have to go through several security checks to meet him. When he travels abroad, the United States government sees him as so important that he gets his own group of highly trained commandos. Number 7. Mark Zuckerberg. Tech CEOs are some of the richest and most famous people in the world, and Mark Zuckerberg is probably the most famous of them all. The founder of Facebook is one of the most expensive people in the world to protect. In 2017, he cost Facebook $7.3 million in security costs. That number is now believed to be closer to $20 million. Mark has a team of armed guards who protect his Bay Area home 24/7. When he goes out into public, he has a team of guards who go ahead of him to security check every bar, cafe, and shop he goes into. His office is even rumored to have an escape hatch. Number 6. Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping is the current president of the People's Republic of China. Being the leader of the most populous country in the world is a dangerous job, especially when that country is a dictatorship. But it isn't just his own people he needs to be worried about. As the 3rd most powerful country in the world, he has enemies around the world. To keep him safe, the Central Security Bureau, his own secret security agency, has 5,000 guards in its employ. His Excellency Wang Shoujian is the leader of the CSB and is incredibly secretive. His only ever public appearance came in 2015 when he attended a White House banquet. Though there are no official numbers, Xi Jinping is regarded as the person with the most attacks on his life in the world. Number 5. Mohammed bin Salman. Mohammed bin Salman isn't just the head of state for Saudi Arabia. He's also one of the richest people in the world, thanks to the state oil company Saudi Aramco. The army of Saudi Arabia is always on call to protect him, and they spend an estimated $10 billion a year on equipment. He has a team of 1,000 security personnel who protect him and his home. This team doesn't just have bodyguards and armed personnel though. In the modern world, having cybersecurity is essential, and he's meant to have some of the best in the world. Number 4. Pope Francis. The Pope isn't just the leader of the Catholic faith, he's also the head of the Vatican City State. Pope Francis is lucky enough to live in one of the most heavily guarded cities in the world. The streets of the Vatican City are filled with the Swiss Guard, the personal army of popes since 1506. The Swiss Guard may look like they haven't changed since 1506, but the force is in fact made up of some of the finest and most highly trained soldiers in the world. Selected from the Swiss army, their training includes crowd control, VIP protection, use of fire and non-lethal weapons, and surveillance. They are also equipped with the most technologically advanced weaponry in the world, despite their medieval looks. Number 3. Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II became queen of 7 different countries, as well as head of the Commonwealth in 1952. The Queen's personal guard is probably the most recognizable in the world. The Royal Guard are soldiers who wear red tunics and tall bearskin caps, and can be seen patrolling the grounds of Buckingham Palace every day. This guard is provided by multiple different regiments of the British Army, but when she's traveling in the Commonwealth, it can be made up of soldiers from the local countries as well. It isn't just the Royal Guard that protects the Queen though. SO14 Royalty Protection Group is a component of the Metropolitan Police Service Protection Command. SO14 is responsible for guarding the royal family and associated residences. SO14 bodyguards operate in plain clothes and are routinely armed with 9mm Glock 17 pistols. They discreetly carry their pistol, radio, and a first aid kit on their person. When traveling abroad, it's common for the Royal Navy to send a fleet with her to aid her protection. In 2010, it was speculated that it would cost $130 million a year to provide around-the-clock protection for the 21 family members. That shouldn't be too surprising, considering she has an aircraft carrier following her around the world. Number 2. Kim Jong-un. After seeing his security team running alongside his armored limousine during a visit to Singapore, we quickly became obsessed with how the North Korean supreme leader Kim Jong-un protected himself. Kim Jong-un is known to be one of the most paranoid leaders on the planet. He has his own 100,000-man army with a command structure that reports directly to him. This elite unit is called the Supreme Guard Command and essentially serves with Kim's highly trained personal army, which is directly and completely dependent on him. This unit not only aims to defend its chief, but is also used as a propaganda instrument. According to testimonies of North Korean defector Lee Yong-hook, recruiters for the Guard look for new recruits in high schools where students are lined up for inspection. Physical prerequisites include no facial scars and a well-proportioned body. Potential candidates have their family histories scrutinized for party loyalty. Once chosen, they're given an ID number while all other records are erased. They're then taken from their families and sent to a training camp for 2 years before actively joining the Supreme Guard Command. They're banned from contacting anyone they knew from their previous life, including their family. Imagine being taken away from your family at 16 years old and forced into military service. That's insane. Before we move on to the number 1 most guarded person in the world, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell icon. That way, you'll be the first to see our next luxury video. Also, comment down below and let us know which person surprised you the most. Number 1 is Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is not only the president of Russia, he's also the most powerful person on the planet and has in his possession the largest arsenal of nuclear weapons in the world. Because Russia is a dictatorship, the government releases very little information about the exact number of security personnel that protect the Russian president. Vladimir Putin's time as president of Russia has been filled with controversy. He uses the Russian police force as well as secret police to keep the people living in Russia under control. The media and the internet are both heavily censored to stop people speaking negatively of him and to stop negative stories about him making it into the country. Despite this, the president has had constant protests against him and has been the target of an uncountable number of assassination attempts. The job of protecting him from all of these attacks falls to the Presidential Security Service, which is believed to employ 38,500 guards and security personnel. Not much is known about the secretive security organization, but in keeping the president safe as long as they have, it's safe to assume that they're one of the most well-funded personal security forces in the world. Click the video on the screen to see another luxury video.